Hi, Janet Clancy, host of American Dream TV and Selling Charleston. And today we're located at beautiful Rainbow Row, right here in downtown Charleston. And I can't wait to unravel the history with you behind these beautiful, iconic buildings. In the 19th century, these homes were used as warehouses to house indigo, rice, and tobacco. However, when the maritime trade industry started to decline, these homes fell into disrepair. So a lady named Dorothy Haskell in the 1930s decided to purchase the homes, 6 of them, paint them beautiful pastel colors, thus creating Rainbow Row, one of the most picturesque and iconic places in downtown Charleston. Over the past decade, Charleston's craft brew industry has continued to grow, putting up breweries on every corner of the peninsula. But the love affair with brewing goes back just like the history of Rainbow Row. All right, guys, so we've stepped inside Tradesman Brewery today, where we're going to speak with the operating partners of Tradesman. We have Sarah McConnell, Heather and Shaun Herman, and Scott McConnell, who will be doing the brewery tour here shortly. All right, guys, so tell me a little bit about how Tradesman got started.
A good friend of mine, we've done other business ventures together, and last couple of years we've been talking about getting involved in a brewery. We looked at different options of trying to start one on our own, which was a really good thing we didn't, because it was a lot more work than we anticipated. And we met Scott and Sarah, and we sat down with them, and over several months going back and forth talking, we found like this was a really good idea for us to partner with them and really grow the Tradesman name. They started a great name, and now we just want to take it to the next level.
Well, I'm super excited to go meet Scott and get a tour of the brewery and how the whole system works.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, Scott, your wife told me that I'd find you right here in the Brewery of Tradesmen. I want to know a little bit about the brewing process and what you have to do to create these amazing beers that you have on tap.
Well, first, beer starts with grain. We take the grain, we run it through a mill, which is like a roller, and then drops through the mill, goes through an auger, goes to the big container up top, goes to that vessel right there, where we then mix it with water at the right temperatures, usually pretty warm. And we stir and mix it for about an hour. And what that does is the enzymes convert the starches into sugars. And once that process is done, we have a liquid that's called wort. And wort is just basically sugar water. From there, then we take the wort from there and we move it to the kettle and we boil it, typically for an hour. And we'll add hops at different times, depending on what we're making and how sweet or how bitter we want also plays into a part. Okay. And once it's through boiling, then we run it through a heat exchanger, move it to the fermenter, and from there we add our yeast, which the style of beer determines the style of yeast that we use, because yeast give off a lot more flavors than people realize. The yeast and wort is then considered beer.
Okay, very cool. Well, thank you so much. And I say we cheers and head back in and have a cold beer.
Sure.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Scott. I'm sitting here with my amazing husband, PJ Clancy, and a good friend of ours, Shaun Oliveira. And apparently there's rumors going around that you guys are collaborating with Tradesmen about a really cool concept with your Bearded BS podcast. So can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a Pilsner. We have it right here, 6.4%, which is great.
One at a time.
One at a time. Yeah, you can take it slow.
All right, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining me today as we toured beautiful downtown Charleston and Rainbow Row and ended right here at Tradesman Brewery, located just outside of downtown Charleston. I'm your host with American Dream TV, Janet Clancy, and I can't wait to see you on our next episode of Selling Charleston.